It's okay to feel your own pain. Look at your pain, feel it, and let it out. It's okay to cry. It's okay to believe in a higher power, whether you believe it's inside or outside. It's a higher power that you have to hold on to when you're going through something. I was in the COVID isolation room for 1 month, not knowing when I was going to get out, and I couldn't even walk out the door if I wanted to. I had 70% lung capacity. I fell on my face, had a black eye in front of my family, my wife and my son. They didn't know if I was coming out. I didn't know if I was coming out, but I held on. So I thought positive. I kept optimistic. I kept faith in God. I prayed. And one day I got out of there to breathe some real oxygen outside of the hospital room where people was dying all around me. My best friends were killed selling drugs. Some of my other friends are in jail. Some are missing in action and some in the crazy farm. My wife of 31 years died all of a sudden. 31 years. My wife of 31 years died all of a sudden. I had to feel my pain, and I still have to feel my pain and deal with it and let stuff go and find the funny and the humor in whatever I can and still find the youth guy in me, the young guy in me, the silly side, and still say, you know what, refocus and enjoy life. Why? Because I know that God gave me a purpose. And being that I was born in Harlem in the Bronx, and the first things that I saw in my life was crime and violence and hatred, black on black hatred. And it made you confused when you're being bullied and you're being robbed by your own. And the world's telling you to be a nice guy and a good guy, but you gotta learn to fight back. And at first it's confusing. And then when your family acts up, when you're going through stuff, and your so-called friends, that could be confusing until you just realize that you have a mission from God. You have a purpose in life. I have a purpose in life. So you have to find your purpose in life. And my purpose is to find that kid that was like me and kick the truth to the young youth, especially in our community. Kick the truth to the young black youth. But my message applies to whatever color, whatever sex, whatever class status. So if I have to be Mr. O, the hip hop teacher, hit you with animation, that's what I'm going to do. And if I have to give you motivation, that's what I'm going to do. And if we're going to be silly or serious, I'm going to be both. But I'm going to reach you. That's my mission. You have to find your mission in life. And no matter what happens, you bounce back because you know that you were born. Nature gave you a mission. Nature gave you a talent. God gave you a mission. God gave you a talent. And use the talent that you enjoy, that hopefully you can still monetize or make money from. Because this world is all about money. But I always tell people, God first, health second, money third. Then we can look into family and legacy, but you can't help anybody until you help yourself first. Save self before saving others. But my main message, let me just say this. My whole family's gone, damn near. I'm the oldest now. My mom's gone, my pop's gone, my grandparents were gone, my other grandparents gone, my aunts, my uncles, my friends, most of them, my closest ones. How do I handle that? I got to know who I am. And I got to stay focused. So you got to know who you are. You got to dig deep. Self-examination. Who am I? Am I really who I am? And am I all I ought to be? You have to stay focused. And treat yourself right and love yourself regardless to how the world treats you. Or what the world thinks about you. What other people say. What other people think. You have to love yourself. Love yourself. And if you want to go after your goals and dreams, you better go for it. You go to war for it. You can't go a little nice, you can't stick your toe in the pool. You got to jump in there and swim. Do your best not to drown. That's how this life is. There's a lot of people around, but at the end of the day, you're by yourself, which means it's you and your creator at the end of the day. So therefore, knowing that, you need to just focus on you and your goals first and foremost, and then have playtime with everybody else, or whatever you want to call it. Right? Because most people are just shooting the ish. That's all. You know, you got to get people around you that's serious about their dreams and their focus and their talents. And unfortunately, this is a world where they say, I got to give everybody a sound bite and try to get it under a minute because you don't have a long attention span. But this can't go in an elevator pitch. What I got to say can't go into a minute. And I'm still keeping it short because I can say this stuff for hours. But I want you to leave with this message. There's pain every day, or even when you're up, sooner or later, life goes up and down. When it goes down, just deal with your pain and let it out and get help if you have to, and talk to somebody that loves you or cares or listens, and do whatever you have to do. Work out to get rid of that stress. Work out, pray, yoga, jog, ride bikes. You know what I mean? Whatever you got to do that's illegal, that's not going to hurt you. It's only going to help you and make that part of your lifestyle. So again, in my conclusion, deal with your pain. It's okay to cry. It's okay to let it out if you got to do it every day. It's okay to reminisce and go back, and I use techniques, you know, just so that I could cry. Like certain songs like Stephanie Mills, When I Think of Home, and Jesus is Love, Lionel Richie singing at Michael Jackson's funeral service. And last night I made a mistake and put on, could it be that it was So Simple Then by Gladys Knight. Ghostface rocks that too. But I shouldn't have put that song on. I was like, oh, that song had me teary, woo! Because it had me going back down memory lane, thinking of all the joy and all the pain, you know? And just remember, joy and pain, like Frankie Beverly said, joy and pain is both one and the same. So I like comedy too. So you can laugh at things, you know, that's another way for me to deal with stress. You know, you can laugh, you know, but then you got to know that you can cry too. It's okay to cry, and it's okay to laugh. And it's okay to have fun, and it's okay to move on. One of my best friends, rest in peace, Fuquan, you know, he had a lot of trauma in his life too, and that's what you got to realize. We all have trauma. So you got to deal with your trauma, face your trauma. But I say, Fuquan, how you deal with all of this? And Fuquan used to say, man, life goes on. And I'm talking about a 16-year-old. At that time, I said, man, life goes on. And, you know, whenever something happens, I look around and, okay, I'm in pain and emotions and everything, but the rest of the world are going to work, school, you know, laughing, doing whatever they do. The world's not going to stop because you hurt, unfortunately. So you got to deal with your pain, let it out, and love yourself. Find ways to love yourself. And don't hurt yourself. Nothing or no one in this world is worth you hurting yourself. All right? So, you know, I know this world doesn't want you to talk about God. Whoever created you, find that person, place, or thing, okay? and build a communication with it. Because this world's crazy. You know, this is crazy. I'm telling you, I've been very close to death. And I reached out and somebody grabbed my hand and talked to me. So it's all good, baby, baby. All right, Mr. Old hip hop teacher in the building, AKA Kamal. Thank you for listening. One love. Peace.